isn't part of morality being able to treat well people who do not think the way that we think? I mean, isn't that part of morality according to any definition? It's certainly a requisite morality for living in a civil society.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Faitheism Project Podcast, Season 2, Episode 19. My name is Alan Katz, and I have always been grateful to Hebrew School for making me the atheist I am today.
And my name is Randy Lovejoy, and I am a pastor who has stepped outside of the church to help people to go inside, deeper inside of the faith.
Where one's moral compass comes from is that being able to talk to other people.
Agreed.
It is essential to your moral compass. If you don't know what other people are thinking, then your sense of morality is always really narrowed into your own head. And the more you appreciate not just other people, but your community and all the elements that make up your community, yes, then what is morality?
Yeah.
Not only is it not narrowed, it expands, but not in a way that it becomes less moral. It simply accommodates the variety of humanity that we live with and we need to live with. You don't have a choice.
And isn't part of morality being able to treat well people who do not think the way that we think? I mean, isn't that part of morality according to any definition? It's certainly a requisite morality for living in a civil society. And again, that doesn't mean, and this is for the Christians that struggle with conversations with people that think differently than they do. But that doesn't mean you're watering down your point of view. If you're afraid that those conversations will do that, then that's an insecurity inside of you that you need to deal with, you and God need to deal with. Because the fact is, love your enemies is a moral code for us as Christians that we are called to live out. And what that means is if you're not secure enough, or you're too angry, or you have not forgiven, or you're not willing to take a chance of being hurt enough that you'll talk to people that would actively oppose your point of view, then you can't live out your faith. You just can't. I'm sorry. That needs to be a part of it.
When you turn the other cheek, what are you in fact doing? You are presenting the other cheek for that person to hit.
Right. And you've already been hit once.
Correct.
So your response, yes.
Please,
that's right.
Sir, may I have another is what you are daring them to do.
Yes.
And you are hoping that by presenting your other cheek, you will bring their humanity up to yours.
Yes. And you will make a dramatic difference. You will, rather than reinforcing the cycle of violence that we're caught up in, you're actually saying, no, it stops with my action.
Yes.
And you may get hit on the other cheek. Nevertheless, it is still something that for Christians, we are required to do, and we need to remember that.
It's remarkably powerful, turning the other cheek. It is in that moment, it is the power move.
Yes.
Because you are not rising to the violence. You are staring the other person down and saying, I stand here in the morally superior position. What are you going to do about that? And if the answer is something less moral, well, there we have it.
Well, and it's an intriguing example or case study for loving your neighbor as yourself as well. Because I think a lot of times we think of that phrase as, well, okay, I got myself an ice cream. I'm going to get somebody else an ice cream. And this is going to be great. This is a situation, though, where you have to say, you know what, actually, to love my neighbor as myself, I need to be willing to expose myself to their violence, which means in some ways, for me to love my neighbors myself, I've actually got to love them more than the protection of self. And I think that's where that to me would be an amazing virtue if we suddenly had a pandemic of people considering other people more important than themselves, as Paul writes in a letter to the Philippians. If we actually decided to do that, what might happen in this country? I mean, sure, a number of people would get hurt who try that. I don't have any doubt about it. But I think over time, there would be this change where people are like, wait a minute, I got ticked and did something to this person and I didn't get the response I wanted, which would further inflame my rage and anger and justify my righteousness. Instead, this person did this thing that's like, whoa, wait a minute, I got to rethink all of this. What's actually going on here? Am I justifying myself, or am I simply perpetuating the violence and injustice in society that I'm ticked off about? Wouldn't that be amazing?